Hello? Do you hear me? Hello. Welcome to the fourth RIPEstat demo. My name is Christian Teuschl. I'm software engineer at the RIPE NCC. And well, yeah, to start with, we're gonna give you some overview what we're gonna do within the next approximately 30 minutes. The first one, or the introduction, will be some administrative guidelines to have a smooth demo. Afterwards, we're gonna have a small recap of the idea of RIPEstat. I mean, we try to keep it really short because mainly people who attended the last couple of demos are usually aware of that. And if you want to have more information on that, you can actually go to our website and download the recordings of the previous demos. Afterwards, we jump to the live demo, where we present what we have done since the last public demo. And then we will have some questions and feedback, section, where you can ask any questions and we try to answer them, and also give us feedback on how the direction of RIPEstat, the development is going, if it suits you. Afterwards, we will close the public demo and give some information on the next public demo and also on the upcoming RIPE meeting in Amsterdam. So let's go. Yeah, well, so if you have any questions during the demo, you can use the question and answer feature, and we will try to reply as soon as possible, but usually we prefer to have questions after the live demo, so everybody can participate in the questions. So just a thing, when you want to speak to us, we would like to, I mean, it would be better if you use a headset or external microphone, because the internal microphone of most of the notebooks are, well, not that good for this purpose. So just one hint, if you have an iPhone and a headset like this one, you can use this one. This is actually quite nice for this purpose. So if you have a question, click on the Ask for Microphone button in your WebEx panel, and then just wait until you will be called. When you will be called, or when it's your turn, please state your name and also refer or state the subject you're referring to. And as always, if you have more detailed questions, we can, or which cannot be easily answered in the live demo or during the live demo, we would like to have them on the mailing list, on the net mailing list. All right, then just a short recap of the idea behind RIPEstat. I mean, most of the attendees of the previous demos are already know what it's about. So just for the people who which are attending the presentation for the first time, we give a short overview. So the idea about RIPEstat is to present you the internet community with a web service, which can be in a way seen as a Swiss Army knife, which should provide you with all the necessary information about the internet resources, so prefixes, ASs, and also later domain names. And if you want to have more information on the idea itself, we would advise you to maybe get to the first public demo of the recordings of the first public demo, where Daniel Kallenberg is actually giving a nice presentation about the idea behind RIPEstat. So if you go on, just a thing about the public demo or the development procedure we are using. We are developing RIPEstat in an agile way, which actually gives us, or also our users, a way to get involved in the development. So every 4 weeks we're going to present what we have done since the last presentation, and during this time we try to make the feedback and all the comments we get from our users into the development process. And if you want to have more information on the way we develop RIPEstat, please visit the labsripe.net page in the section RIPEstat, which gives you all the necessary information how the development is structured and when the public demos are taking part. So, well, this actually gives us the opportunity to jump directly into the live demo. So I'm gonna open the browser. So first of all, one of the first obvious changes you can see are the examples which we state. This gives you just a sample IPv4, IPv6, and AS number, which you can use to play around with the application. So in the last, or since the last public demo, we heavily worked on performance. So this should actually be something you should experience when you're working with RIPEstat. But I'm gonna come back to the performance improvements later on. Right now, I just go to the obvious changes. So I try a prefix 140.78/16. Okay, we already get some questions. That's good. Okay, I try to speak louder if that's possible. Some people have complained that it's hard to hear me. Well, okay. On the first plugin page, we see also another change we did recently. It was a overhaul of the. Okay, thanks. It was an overhaul of the error messages we present in the beginning, or before we worked on the error message. It was quite, well, not that informative and also not that smart. I mean, right now we're gonna use, I just try to make the screen a little bit bigger so you can see the error message a little bit better. Together with a more informative error message, I mean, we also provide you with some help text in case of an error, what you can do. I mean, we still have to refine the text a little bit, but I think that's still work in progress, as the whole RIPEstat application is still work in progress. But in this case, it's suggested that we can use the reload button, which was also added since the last presentation. And the reload is actually quite a nice thing because it deactivates some timeouts on the backend, and so it's more likely that you will get some data. So we just try it here, and hopefully it works. Well, yeah, in this case, it succeeded, so that's quite a benefit. So the prefix OLAP actually, in a way, doesn't have any new features we added. So I'm gonna start from top to bottom and just show you and focus on the new features. One of the new features is that the title of each box became a link. It is the direct link for this specific plugin. So if you click it and open it, for example, in a new tab, we will only get the data set for this specific plugin. And if you click if you click the link, you also notice that we have changed the URL structure to a much more nicer way. after before we changed it, it was really a long URL. Right now, it's a shorter URL, which makes it more easy to share, and will hopefully also be more informative in case if you just want to copy the URL. And another nice thing is that the value argument is still changeable, so it lets you easily change the argument or the input value for the plugin, and then if you reload the page, you will get the information for this specific argument. But I think that's in a way quite clear. So well, okay, then we worked on the methodology text for each of the plugins. The methodology should provide you with all the information you should need about how we acquired the data, which data source we are using, and also in some cases legal information, what you can do with the data mainly. So if you click the methodology, you will see the methodology information for each of the plugins. Okay, then the next thing would be the blacklist. I directly jumped to the blacklist plugin for this prefix. So one obvious thing was that we added the percentage of the part of the prefix which got blacklisted. And another thing was that we make in a way directly clear for which period of time we have data. For example, for the UCI blacklist, we only have data which goes back 2 years, whereas for the drop blacklist we have got data which goes back 6 years. Well, these are the changes for the blacklist. Another change we did to the next plugin was that we ignored isolated withdrawals, because usually it could happen that one AS was announcing this prefix and it showed up as a separate line, but if it was only a withdrawal, which most happen might be isolated, these data were stripped out of the data set. So now it's much more clearer which AS was actually announcing this prefix. Then another change we did to the next to the tier location plugin actually, that we increased the performance. I mean, right now we think or our measurement showed us that the tier location data is fetched twice as fast. So I hope you will experience this also. Okay, another thing we changed was the whois output. Right now, it should give you much more detailed or not detailed information. It actually strips out the less informative data and will focus on data which should be more descriptive in a way. And yeah, let's try it and tell us if you're happy with the changes we did for the whois output. Okay, the next changes are visible for an AS. So we try an AS. Okay. The changes were made to the prefix list, as you can see here at the top of the plugin sets. One thing we did, we increased the data quality. For example, if we see we do some aggregation on the data, and the aggregation is actually time sensitive. So if we see old data, which is more than 9 years, 10 years old, we actually aggregate gaps of 10 days. If we see data which is only 1 year old, we only aggregate 1 day. And up to the recent data, we actually keep a gap of around 8 hours. This is actually some kind of improvement of the data quality. Another thing, we added additional data to the prefix list. For example, the peers. This is the average amount of peers which were seen during the observation time. So, for example, for 145, 198/26, which was seen from last year to today, we got an average amount of peers seeing this prefix was around 90. Another thing we added to this one was a filter where you can actually use a time filter, and this way you can just filter all the values which are outside of this time frame. And as you see, the data changes. So these are the changes we did since the last presentation on the output plugins. What else we have worked on was the performance, and we added a nice overview page where you can see how, in which way each of the plugins is performing and also behaving. So if you append analysis to the URL, analysis, and don't forget about the last slash, you will see an overview of all our plugins with stating with all the performance information, how long the processing took. We give you the information on the average, the minimum and the maximum value, and also how many times the plugin logic was called, and the standard deviation. On the bottom, we list all of the outliers, and we define an outlier as a processing event when the average processing time was bigger than the average plus the standard deviation. So this is actually quite handy for analyzing, and this really helped us to pinpoint the plugins which were more resource consuming, and really focus on these plugins. Then another thing we worked on since the last presentation was a new design, and the new design can be seen under media / new design. And this is actually the design we are going for in the next weeks. So it will hopefully be ready for the RIPE 62 meeting. In general, the idea about this one, try to make it a little bit bigger, is to get aligned with the general RIPE design. So in a way, the information on the page is not dramatically different from the design we have right now. It's mainly on the left side we see a floating table, a table of content, which provides you with the links we actually have in the design just on the top. But it, in addition to just the new design, it should also float with the so if you go down, it will stay always at the same position. And on the left side, we have the usual boxes like the top queries and the latest queries, and also the events, which any important event which will happen on RIPEstat. And the last thing is the roadmap of our presentation. Okay, well, after we talked about the design and the analysis, I think we can go back to the, we can conclude the live demo and go back to the slides. So this is just a small recap of the things we did since the last presentation. I will only focus on the performance things, because all the other things we saw during the live presentation. So as we have worked on the performance and stability thing, what have we done actually? We improved some of the code. We used faster backends, changed some libraries, more performant libraries, and yeah, added the analysis page. So all the other stuff I think were included in the live presentation. The nice URLs, the prefixes, and these things. So I think we can go on to the question and answer sections. So we can open the mic right now, and if someone has questions, please ask for the mic. Okay, I just go through the chat questions, and maybe we have some questions we can answer, or if it hasn't been answered. Yeah, what I have to state about the design, about the new design, it's still work in progress. So that the data on this image is maybe not that accurate. So there might be some changes. I mean, you see on the screen design, you see only one plugin, but the table of content lists more than one plugin. So this is just to give you an idea about the design and which direction we are going, and just to have some food for mind to talk about that. So do we have any questions about the changes or the application in general? I mean, are you happy with the performance? I think that was really a huge point last time, and we really tried to improve it to a nice level. So we would like to hear some experience about the changes. Hello, we have got one mic open.
Hi, here's Christian. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. For the people who don't know me, I'm one of the MAT working group chairs, and I missed the last demo. So since then, I actually found a couple of changes I liked and I wanted to comment on.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I like that the performance is actually much better than before, because the first demos were kind of, you know, slowish, and you had to wait and basically could go for coffee in between. So that seems much better now.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also like the filters and the date feature, especially with the calendar, so you don't have to guess the format when you put in the filters, so that makes it quite easy. And the yellow for the second page, which is linked under the RIPE page, is a little bit hard to read on my monitor because everything is kind of in yellow and it kind of blurs with the white background. I'm not sure if that is just on my screen or if that is something you noticed too. And I actually have a question. The geolocation part, you can see for the prefix. What is it based on?
The data source. I mean, the problem, as we also stated in the methodology, it's not always that accurate because we are using a third-party data source for this one. It's the MaxMind geolocation light database, and in some cases, the information or actually the data is not that accurate. I mean, sometimes it's just good enough to get the country right. So on city level, it's not always that accurate.
Right. Is there a chance that if people are actually interested and want to state where their prefix is more precise, that they actually can enter it and place it rather than you guessing it?
Yeah. That would be a nice feature. I think I haven't read through the terms of usage for the MaxMind geolocation database. I mean, one thing would be if we also include the RIF data for a prefix. I mean, we have the address for a prefix, and actually we could search for it, for example, on Google Maps, and then take this information and use it for the geolocation data source. But this is, I think, a thing we can talk about in future development, just to refine the output of the geolocation plugin. I mean, that's true. We had some requests about, or complaints about the accuracy of the geolocation. But that could be a thing we could work on.
Right. I mean, it's probably not the most important thing considering the other features you're looking at. But if you just get a rough idea where it is, you know, or it kind of guesses the countries wrong and this kind of stuff, then it's not much of a help, at least not for me. So if there would be basically a feedback mechanism or a way to improve it in general, I think that would be a great thing.
Yeah, true. I mean, the country should be correct. I think it's only on city level.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Christian. Just to answer your question in two ways. I think what I've already asked for is actually for the geolocation box, not only to show the Google Maps thing, but also like we do in Rex, actually show a table about how this changed over time, which can be very useful. Yes, we are limited by the public MaxMind database, and we've already had actually a couple of people asking exactly the same question that you asked, how can we correct this? And there's actually a different activity going on at the NCC at the moment, is talking to the geolocation providers, Google, MaxMind, and so on, to actually see whether we can establish a service by which there is a back channel from our community to those geolocation providers, so that they can actually fix their data sets. But that's outside of RIPEstat. That's a service that actually the registration services group is looking at the moment. And I think we're going to talk about it briefly at the next RIPE meeting. But so far we can just use the MaxMind data set as it is, and if it's not correct, then we'll just have to go and wait for this other thing where we can make them corrected. And we might actually add something to RIPEstat already as a feedback channel. If people find that useful, I mean, if we would sort of add a user comment kind of thing to a prefix or to an AS that anybody could write into, and that we would then just display. If people find that useful, we can certainly do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But I want to add to this one. There's also the idea to have comments on each specific output. So that we, right now we just have a side-wide comment, which is maybe identified by the page you're looking on, either the result page or some event pages. But the future idea would be maybe to have comments on each plugin data set, maybe also identified by each of the resources you're accruing. So maybe we can have comments for only the geolocation, and maybe also geolocation cluster specific resource. That would actually be a nice usage of the common key feature.
Cool.
All right. So do we have more questions on the output, or maybe some experience? What about the design we showed? I mean, would you rather stick to the design we have right now, or is it for you the right way to go to align it more with the general RIPE design? Okay. Well, so I think if we don't have more questions, yeah, sure. We just got a comment that your ideas about the design might not be pop up right now. So maybe this is a thing you can come back with us and tell us what you think about the design. So the URL for this design, I just repeat it again, will be media new underscore design.png. So I think we will keep the design for the rest of the week, so you can have a look and then tell us what is your opinion on the new design. So then just conclude the presentation. So about the general feedback, as we stated in the last presentations, there are common ways to give us feedback. One way is to just write us an email under RIPEstat at ripe.net, or use the commenting feature on the website. I mean, as you already know, these comments are all public. And another way to give us feedback would be over the labs, the RIPE Labs article page, which is under labs.ripe.net /RIPEstat. And one information for the upcoming RIPE meeting, we will have some sessions also devoted for RIPEstat. We are beginning with the measurement analysis and tool working group, which will take place Thursday the 5th at 4 o'clock. And after this one, we will have a bird of feather session about measurement, which also includes which also we will talk about RIPEstat. This will be at 5:45. And also we would like to have you check the agenda, because there will be more interesting session on the RIPE meeting next beginning of May. Okay, this is actually the end of the presentation. Thanks a lot for attending this presentation, and the next presentation will be on the 18th of May. It will be also Tuesday, the same time, so 9:30 UTC. And well, this I think is the end. So thanks a lot.